The PBA Tour's 2004-2005 season took off like a rocket. The first 8 events saw 7 different winners and an incredible mix of old school and new age. Opening day was truly that, the ABC Masters at Miller Park in Milwaukee. Danny Wiseman finally broke through with a major and won $100,000.
I got it! Yeah!
Tommy Jones entered his 5th PBA season without a title, but he is winless no longer. TJ won his first tournament at the Japan Cup and became our only repeat winner, an early Player of the Year favorite with a win at the Denver Open. The great Walter Ray Williams Jr. picked up where he left off last season, winning career title number 40 in Cleveland. Twice after that, he had a shot at Earl Anthony's magic number of 41 titles, and twice it was not to be. Williams continues chasing history, and PBA Tour excitement continues as the 2005 portion of our season begins today at the PBA Geico Open.
Oh, you're talking about it! That's what we're here for!
We're coming to you from Brunswick's own Mesa in Mesa, Arizona, minutes from downtown Phoenix. It's the PBA Geico Open. Dave Ryan with Randy Peters along with our entire crew. We start the second half of our PBA season with 4 finalists who are ready to roll.
He enjoyed an epic 2003-2004 season, making 7 TV Finals appearances and winning 2 titles, including the U.S. Open. From Heartland, Michigan, the reigning PBA Player of the Year, Mika Koivuniemi.
The Big Fin, when he's firing on all cylinders, he's tough as nails. And last year, he nailed the 16th televised 300 game in PBA history.
He finished second at the last tour stop in Fountain Valley. This 4-year veteran looks for his first PBA title today. From Erie, Pennsylvania, Mike Machuga.
Chugs has finished second 3 times in his career. He learned a valuable lesson in losing a few weeks ago in Fountain Valley. Question is, did he learn enough to help him win his first title today?
From Jackson, New Jersey, his 29 titles ranked 5th all-time. He has earned over $2 million in his illustrious Hall of Fame career. Parker Bohn III.
The fluid left-hander hasn't won since 2002, but the great ones always persevere, and after a major overhaul, he's ready to win his 30th title today.
A 2-time Player of the Year, he has 21 career titles. He has made the TV Finals 3 times in the last 4 PBA events and looks to break through today. From Claremont, Florida, Norm Duke.
The master of manipulation fears no oil pattern. With 1 match win today, he will surpass $2 million in career earnings. With a second, he will win his 22nd career title.
These are your finalists for the PBA Geico Open.
Semi-final number 1 pits Mika Koivuniemi, who has not been seen by our ESPN audience yet this season, and Mike Machuga, whose round of 8 match went to the final frame of Game 7 before he advanced. You'll need a huge trophy case for the bowlers in semi number 2. Parker Bohn III and Norm Duke, they have a combined 50 titles. Will one of them add to their collection today? Stick around and find out.
And Randy, we start with Mika Koivuniemi. Mika, Player of the Year last year. You made the TV show in Japan, but your first USA TV show. Why have you had the struggles so far this season?
I felt I've been bowling good, but guys just keep beating me till this week, but now it's my turn.
Good luck to you. Mike Machuga, what did you learn from your experience a couple weeks ago before the Christmas break in Orange County? You made the finals, but lost to Brian Voss.
Well, Dave, I learned not to split late in the game. You know? Bottom line is throw good shots when you need them, and that's what I'm going to try to do today.
Mika said he's going to take down your confidence. What do you say to that?
No, Pop. You can't take down my confidence. Come on now.
I think Mike Machuga's ready. Randy, first ever head-to-head matchup on TV. Mike Machuga, Mika Koivuniemi.
Lots of cash on the line today. Almost $250,000 total prize fund, $40,000 for the winner, $20,000 to the runner-up, and remember the all-important 1-year exemption for the 2005-2006 season. Mike Machuga will start the match, which means he will finish the match on the right lane in the 10th frame.
Machuga himself trying to avoid splits. He was talked about a second ago in the interview. Did just that. 7-pin up. What electricity in the building today, Randy. You can see there. Shot of the great crowd we've got. Takes care of the 7-pin and a mark for Mike Machuga. Brings up Mika Koivuniemi. First time we've seen Mika on TV. And USA-based shows. Did make it in Japan. And told us last night he's run into a lot of pretty hot bowlers when it comes down to crunch time. Didn't like that off his hand at all, but still strikes. He looked down at the approach with some footwork leading up to our first Baby Ruth real deal matchup today.
And we're bowling on a tough pattern this week, and we'll get to that a bit later. The thing that really shows up here is simple: spare conversion percentage. Mika Koivuniemi with that loft can keep the ball on line and stay out of trouble. Avoiding splits, he's able to leave himself things he can make. Notice his ranking there at 9th. Shugs 46th.
Look at the loft. And it comes in way high. Just a 6-pin count from Mika.
Come on, Mika.
May have been thrown off a bit by the footwork issues with his first ball. Again, looking down at his feet.
Well, he stuck the first shot on the right lane. This one, he just looks like he grabs a pinch. The ball overreacts down the lane, leaving him with the hardest spare non-split or washout that we have on the tour, the 3-6-9-10.
Big moment early for Mika, who covers nicely and earns his mark the hard way.
The spare's so tough because if you get it a pinch too far to the right, it hangs and you don't cover the back pin, the 9-pin. A little bit too far to the left, it overhooks and you chop the 3-9 straight back. Mika, perfect conversion.
Back to Mike Machuga now, who's really faced some tough bowlers on TV recently. December 19th, Orange County. Chris Barnes. As Mike is in the pocket perfectly. A win in the semifinals by 20 pins. Then he lost to Brian Voss in the finals. Now it's Mika Koivuniemi, last year's Player of the Year.
Mike Machuga's game is the envy of a lot of players on the tour. He's able to do a lot of different things because of his physical game allows him to go straight and hook it. A couple of weeks ago in Fountain Valley, we saw him hook it against Brian Voss. Right now, early on, going straight and firm.
Great look from our crew from the lane to see how far right he was. 12-5 match play record, a 217.35 average. Really good matchup with Patrick Allen. 7 games in the round of 8. PA struck in 4 of the last 5 frames. Mike needed spare in a 9 count and ended up converting.
4th game they tied. They had a roll-off, which Patrick Allen won. Mike Machuga rebounded nicely, won the next game.
Oh! Delayed help across the pin deck. Number 10 goes down for Mika.
The big fin says, hey, take some of this, pal. Watch the head pin, sidewall, 10-pin, get out of my face. Think Mika wants this shot? Watch this reaction.
First time, folks, believe it or not, Mika had made a round of 8 this week in Mesa. And it's all the way now to the TV show. Strike here. 4th frame, we've got a tie match. That's what we got. Great pin action, Mika Koivuniemi. He could be in for some big numbers today. Strike percentage leaders, it is the big fin on top.
Yeah, and with those stats there, it's kind of hard to believe that this is the first time he's made it past the round of 8.
18-9 all-time on TV. He's got a great win percentage, does Mika Koivuniemi, but his first USA-based TV show of the year. Machuga still continues to bid for his first title. Really high, and he knew it off the hand. You could hear him hoping that ball would grip a little bit at the end of our 39-foot oil pattern and help him out.
He started talking to himself as soon as he let go of it because he knew the ball was going to be left of target. He was asking for it to hold. That one didn't, leaving him the 3-6-10 a lot easier without the 9-pin being back there.
Jeff, our lefty is there and does not get number 10. Look out. An open frame from Mike Machuga, which can be so deadly against a tough competitor like Mika Koivuniemi. Mike has been on TV 5 times and reached the finals 3 times. The last being in Orange County, California, Fountain Valley, just before the Christmas break this season. 0 for 3 in title games. Trying to get there, though, needs shots like that as he cures that ball. Rebounding off the open.
Mike Machuga says that he really likes this pattern, Dave, because he feels he has a lot of options. You see right now early on he's going straight from out. You'll see Norm Duke in our next match. He's going to be playing in and hooking it. This week gave you a lot of options.
Break down the chameleon oil pattern. Randy and I return from our upcoming commercial break, and boy, he did not like that ball at all off the release. With so much loft, Mika having his struggles.
Boy, he was in a real good spot after Mike Machuga's open frame in the 4th to take big-time advantage of that. With a strike, he would have had a 3-bagger. Instead, he throws it right through the break point, leaving the 1-2-4-6-10.
1-2-4-6-10 spare. So strange to see the head pin up at this level after a strike ball, and an open for him. The 2-pin stays up for Mika Koivuniemi. So each with an open frame in the first half of the match. Mike Edwards, his 1 show appearance this year, went down. Hall of Fame round Leno Monticelli in a round of 16. That was a 6-gamer. And he rolled over Jim Pratt to begin his week. Mika's average this week, 220.63 heading into this TV show. Uh-oh. Almost had the disastrous 7-10.
Wow. Check this out. This could have been a strike on any other day, but today, 2 pins leaning on the 10. The 10 barely falls late.
Mika trying to break a 15-event winless streak. 7-pin goes down for a guy who made 7 TV shows last year, tied for first with Chris Barnes. In one of those shows, Mika Koivuniemi had a 300 game. 3 bowlers on today's show have the perfect games on TV. At the 1998 ABC Masters, Parker Bohn struck 12 strikes together for a major perfecto. 2003 saw 2 televised 300s. The first in Tacoma in January, where Norm Duke amazed a big crowd at the Emerald Queen Casino. And in December at Windsor Locks, Connecticut, Mika Koivuniemi overcame a blizzard and Jason Couch as he bowled the last televised 300 on the PBA Tour. Spectacular local beauty of Arizona, the 50th event in this great state. Norm Duke has won 3 times in the state of Arizona in his great career. Perhaps number 4 comes today. Welcome back. Second half of the PBA Tour season. Dave Ryan, Randy Peterson with our entire crew. Folks, a change in format that starts in the second half of our season on the PBA Tour. Instead of round of 64, best of 7 match play, things have changed now. The first round, we have some qualifying going on. Some 7-game blocks, 2 of them, in fact. So it's changed. And really for the better for the fans, Randy, it gives a chance to watch all the bowlers at one time, and 11 a.m., 6 p.m. local start. You can see all 64 guys at once, maybe about a 4-hour run at it.
Yeah, I think it, for the fans, obviously, it was a really good move. I think it's interesting that the PBA chose to change the format midway through the season. But if you ask the players, I think most of them like the change. When you start adding more games, that's what the players are accustomed to doing. They're professional athletes that train to bowl a lot of games. And anytime you have a tournament that involves a lot of games, the cream always rises to the top.
And a very challenging oil pattern again. It's chameleon this week. Crocodile Randy, you ready for it?
Okay. Chameleon pattern, 39 feet. And really, there was no set place on where to play. 39 feet here, and if you asked anybody where they played, you got this. Most of the times early on in the mornings, the players started kind of straight from out, and then they kind of migrated to the middle part of the lane. But today, you see Mike Machuga playing here, you see Mika playing here, you're going to see Norm Duke playing here, and Parker, he'll be firing up around the second arrow from the outside part of the lane. Tough pattern.
Chris Johnson had that 1-300 game, the Rookie of the Year. But Gecko is here.
6-foot Gecko, crikey.
Oh, I love that music that we hear behind the oil pattern breakdown. Here is Mike Machuga returning. That's high again, almost crossed over Brooklyn's side there. And a 7-pin count for Mike. The 6-9-10 remain.
Well, you can see that he's playing further in on the right lane than he is on the left lane. He had a chance to take a 12-pin lead there with a strike. And he chops another.
Oh my
spare.
Goodness. Another open for Mike Machuga, who spoke to us last night so confidently, Randy, about his lane management on TV. We'd like to welcome aboard. Denny's is our official family restaurant of the PBA Tour. So our road to the PBA Denny's World Championship sees Danny Wiseman with a huge start to our season. Made the round of 8 here in Mesa, winning the World Championship to begin things. Norm Duke, number 4.
Here.
And Mike Machuga is 8 in points.
It's a real seesaw match. I mean, every time somebody has a chance to take a big lead, they open. Watch how much further Mike Machuga is playing on this left lane.
Mike has worked very hard with 2 of his idols, Brian Voss, Norm Duke. To try to make moments like this happen, where he's got to make adjustments as the TV show goes on because the lanes break down under the TV lights much differently than they would in regular match play.
He gets a late trip on the 9-pin. And Dave, I think that's more so why the players like the additional games this week. It gives them more time on the lanes. It gives them 14 more games to learn how to adjust to the pattern as it's changing throughout the day.
Calm and confident. Those are the words that Mike Machuga used with us last night. Now can Mika take advantage of another open frame? Here comes the big fin. He was relocating with his family to Heartland, Michigan, about an hour from where they were in Ann Arbor. We've got 2 legends, folks, coming up. 50 combined PBA titles. Parker Bohn III, Norm Duke. That is our second semifinal. Big names here in Mesa in front of us. Huge crowd, overflow crowd to begin the second half of our season. On lane 31, looking for a little help in his native finish, and he won't get it on the 9-pin.
The same lane that Mike Machuga just tripped that same 9 on. Mika doesn't get that break. And right now, could be in a little bit of a trouble. Not sure what that means, but I'm sure it wasn't thanks a lot.
His wife Lena back home. Children, Ida, who's in 6th grade. She's 11. Lydia is 4 years old, now in preschool. And according to Mika, little Lydia says, I'm no longer a little girl. I'm a big girl now, 4 years old. Maybe future bowlers themselves. I'd like to see a big win for Mika today. Takes care of the 9-pin. The PBA's top bowlers hit the lanes next Sunday afternoon as ESPN's coverage of the PBA Tour rolls on. The finals of the El Paso Classic. Will the Gecko be there is the question. PBA bowling on ESPN Sunday, 1 Eastern time. For more, log on to ESPN.com. That's 11 Mountain Time in El Paso, Texas, where we're headed next week. Can't wait to see a beautiful part of that state.
You want me to sing the Marty Robbins song for you now?
Whenever you're ready.
No, never mind.
Max scores for each, bottom left of your screen. First on a strike, 8th frame to tie. Go!
This is where Mike Machuga was playing on the right lane. Notice how he goes high. This is where he's playing on the left lane. he just made that same move from the left lane to the right lane and struck. And when Mika left the solid 9, I said Mika was in trouble, and I'll tell you why. Mike Machuga can strike out to shoot 223. Mika Koivuniemi can only shoot 213.
Check for a 10-pin lead. Didn't like it.
Oh, Michael, come on.
4-pin.
What you got?
But it's not a split. However, the door is open again for Mika in what's going to be a very tight finish. Machuga winless in 65 career events. First time ever. He's made back-to-back shows. Orange County here today in Mesa.
Dave, we have a possibility of a tie right now. Here's the situation. Mika Koivuniemi can strike out 9th and 10th frame and shoot 213. The best Mike Machuga can shoot 202. However, if Mika strikes in the 9th, strikes the first ball in the 10th, and goes 9 spare, Mika shoots 202.
He's done very well on TV. He's got major victories in his career. A couple of those. Player of the Year last season. He was brilliant. 7 TV shows. He and Chris Barnes tied for the tour lead in that category. In 15 events without a tour win now. Reno of last season. For Major Mika. Can he get back?
Mika controls his own destiny from here on out. He set up the 10th frame beautifully with a strike in the 9th. Check this out. There's the loft right around 2nd and 3rd arrow. Ball holds line, goes dead flush. Mike Machuga knows he's behind the 8 ball now, Dave. One more strike here. Mika's in the driver's seat. 2 strikes in the 10th frame. He's a winner.
Mike telling us last night he was not going to concentrate on what his opponent was doing. He wanted to think about his game. Focus on that. Maybe a glance or two to see where his opponent might be playing in terms of which boards Mika would adjust to. That had to really hurry and didn't. 2-4-5.
This ball's overthrown. It doesn't grab the lane. He's trying to make it turn. Doesn't happen. He leaves a 2-4-5. With a spare here and a strike on his fill shot, he'll shoot 193. Mike Machuga can double in the 10th to win.
How often do you see a head pin and a 5-pin left up in the same game by someone as talented as Mika Koivuniemi? Not very often. That is unusual.
This week we saw it a lot because of the difficult pattern.
Things are going to go right down to the wire. Mika telling us last night how pleased he was to finally be on TV after coming so close, as he mentioned in the interview. He's had some dramatic finishes. 15th at Orange County. 5th at Japan Cup. Machuga can't bear to watch. Big moment. 10-pin.
That fill shot there was huge because if Mika strikes there, it forces Machuga to double to win. Now Mike Machuga can go strike, spare, and we have a tie. Machuga still needs to double to win. Wow. And on a lane where he just made an adjustment.
He's got some crowd support, no doubt about that. Such electricity in the building today here in Mesa.
He's got to be truly committed to this shot and truly believe that the adjustment he made on this lane is the right one.
Calm and confident. It's too high. And the big 4 is up. And that's it. Mika Koivuniemi
Big 4 for the win.
As soon as he let go of
has
it,
got it.
he knew it was high as soon as it left his hand.
Good ball, Mika.
Semi-final match will go to Mika Koivuniemi. He'll take on Parker Bohn III or Norm Group in the championship match. Major Mika is back. A lot to come here in Mesa. The Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge continues this week, and you will not believe the props Parker Bohn III and Brian Himmler bring with them. A combination of skill, a bit of zaniness, when we come back to Mesa. Mika Koivuniemi has knocked off Mike Machuga first semifinal. He'll play the winner of Norm Duke and Parker Bohn III. As you may recall from the first half of the PBA season, we are nearly done with the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge round of 16. This week, it's a battle to see which hand is dominant as left-hander Parker Bohn III takes on righty Brian Himmler.
Parker Bohn III. From Cincinnati, Brian Himmler.
I don't know. I don't know. I was going to put it like right here.
Okay, on 22.
Yeah. All right.
Randy Brian Himmler will start us off with a blind shot today. Difficult shot.
Right there.
He's going to try to throw a strike with a curtain at the foul line. This shot takes a ton of focus and concentration and a lot of luck.
Hey, Brian. You ready? Make sure you hit right there in the center of PBA Tour. I will.
Strike with obstructive view and a Randy rating of 7.6. Right into the ready to roll sign. He's got it.
Remember that? I don't need to look at anything.
Beautifully done. Easy shot for Brian Himmler because he spots at the foul line. Tougher for Parker Bohn III. He looks at a target down the lane.
Looks pretty good. Oh, man. All right. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. You're nuts. I just hope it works. See, sometimes I would do this with a blindfold, but the last time we had to call 911. So we're going to try to make it easy today and see if we can't throw through all these chairs and knock down all 10 pins.
For those folks sitting in the chairs down the lane, I sure hope their Medicare is paid in full.
We trust Parker, don't we, Randy? Through 3 chairs, can he do it? 1, 2, 3, yes! Wow, amazing shot. And now the Chief, Brian Himmler, has got to match it from the right side of the lane because he's a right-hander. Parker thinks he's got a strike to tie it up.
Thank God nobody was sitting in these chairs. There could have been some serious injuries.
I'm going to call the 10. All set.
Parker looks to break the tie by calling his lead. The 7's got to stand, and there it is for the left-hander. Himmler's got a match with a 10-pin standard.
All right. I can do that.
10-pin only, and a 9-2 Randy rating. Oh, except
Hey, that was a great
he strikes.
shot. You're too good. That was a great shot. Apparently, he's done this a lot more times than I have. I've seen it.
So Parker's got a 2-1 lead, trying to convert the big 4 with 2 balls in one hand. How about it? Parker Bohn III. That is an incredible trick shot.
Your turn, my man. I'm dead.
Parker making it look easy. Chief doesn't look like he's ever attempted this shot before, Dave.
I don't know how you do with that one. Yeah, I know. He was just giving me some tips on this over there. He's a good sport, but I'm in jail.
He has got to get them all down. One into the gutter. It's not going to work for him, and Parker Bohn III is going to win it.
You got me.
That's the 3rd strike for Parker Bohn III. He wins the competition.
Parker Bohn III.
So it sets up next week's action in the Skills Challenge. Last year's point champion Brad Angelo and last year's Player of the Year Mika Koivuniemi in El Paso, Texas. So the Miller High Life PBA Skills Challenge, here is how things stand. Couch and Kretzer in the round of 8. Tony Reyes, Chris Barnes will go at it as well. The round of 16 continues Sunday. Brian Voss waiting for the winner of Brad Angelo and Mika Koivuniemi, Michael Hagen Jr. Parker Bohn III through already, as we saw Parker, who is 2-0 all-time on TV against his opponent coming up, Norm Duke. That includes a 99 Japan Cup title match won by 1 pin. A match of the heavyweights coming up. Duke is number 1. Well, we'll find out. Great crowd support. Mika Koivuniemi has defeated Mike Machuga, who continues his bid for his first ever title. Mika will take on either Parker Bohn III or Norm Duke, and they are joined now by Randy Peterson.
Dave, I kind of feel like the meat filler in the middle of the greatness sandwich. 50 titles between these two outstanding players. Parker Bohn, I'll start with you. When you hear the name Parker Bohn, it's synonymous with winning. However, it's been 50 events since your last title. What is your mindset like today?
When I get done today, it'll be 50 events before the next title.
Okay, fair enough. Good luck, Parker. Thank you. Norm Duke, 3 out of the last 4 tournaments, you've made the televised finals. However, you're still looking for your first win of the season. How do you get it done?
Well, I have to beat Parker Bohn. I mean, he's one of the greatest players I've ever watched, and so I have my work cut out for me, believe me.
Good luck, Norm. Thank you.
Thank you now.
Dave Ryan, keep in mind that Norm Duke has never beat Parker Bohn on television.
Partner right about that, 0-2. We'll see if that changes. We're joined by Tom Candiotti, 16-year Major League Baseball pitcher with a lot of teams, known very well for your knuckleball and also now for your bowling. Commissioner's exemption, Candy, this week, so it had to be very exciting for you to compete. What was it like to be out there with the PBA bowlers?
It's pretty amazing stuff. The way these guys are, they don't get enough credit as being athletes. And I tell you what, the way these guys go out there and the way they throw, I mean, it's just mind-baffling how good they really are.
Well, Tom, you finished 64th out of 64, but you were out there competing, the most important thing. And as we'll talk about, quite a bit of interaction with bowlers like Parker Bohn III. Has a difficult split to deal with to get things going. Wow. 6, 8, 10 are up. Split conversion rates for the Hall of Famer. Under 56% this week.
And Parker Bohn's ball reaction and warm-ups looked horrible.
With a spare ball. Oh my goodness. Whiffs on all 3 pins, trying to kick perhaps the 6 into the 10, get a little bit of the 8.
Remember last night he told us that he was drilling a new spare ball just for today because he had problems with his grip and his old spare ball.
She had a lot of warm-up tosses this morning with that spare ball, more than the other guys I was noticing.
Back to Norm Duke. Great start for him. As we check out the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup, Randy, for this Hall of Fame type matchup today.
And only one number you need to be concerned with, and that's this number right here. Parker Bohn III, 11 pins a game, higher average, especially on a difficult pattern like this, Tom. I bowled the 14-game qualifier. I bowled with Parker, and he struck a whole bunch. But keep in mind what Norm Duke has done in this state of Arizona.
He likes the desert. Looks a little bit light off the hand at a 10-pin. We're with Tom Candiotti, longtime Major League Baseball pitcher, now trying his hand at some golf. You know that, your collectibles, and of course some bowling too.
Tell you, one of the things that I really noticed in the qualifier was how the conditions changed drastically about 3.5 games, 3 games into it, where everybody was really swinging the ball instead of going right up the outside. So sometimes that average could be a little deceiving after all that qualifying that's going on.
That's a 10-pin there. Norm,
Can I get a napkin?
Reaction out of the footwork, perhaps. Tom, you
my
and
friends.
your wife Donna, your 2 sons, Clark and Casey, hosting some bowlers, we understand, this week. They're the boys right there. Casey on the right here. And congratulations to you and your wife Donna. 12 years, I believe, your anniversary today?
12 years she's put up with me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
Wow. So Parker gets some help on the 7. You hosted a few bowlers at your house this week. Who stayed over?
Well, we had Chris Barnes, of course, was staying over, and along with Mike Wolf and Brian Smith. Walter Ray had a few visits by last night, eating dinner with Mika and Mike Scroggins, too. I was a little nervous with Mika because he's got a big piece of steak in his gut, and I know the day after I eat a piece of steak, I can't pitch, so... We'll see if the Candiotti home-cooked meal will affect Mika at all. He won 1 match already, so far so good on that, Candy. Perfect ball, Parker Bohn III, rebounding after a disastrous start.
And Candy, you know from being a big league pitcher, sometimes you walk a hitter early, maybe a leadoff hitter, give up a home run, you got to rebound quickly. That's what Parker's done after the tough start here.
You really do. You really have to snap yourself right back into it and get to that focus level as quick as you can. Because you can let that thing just go right by, and next thing you know, you're all over the place. So what's so critical in bowling is that concentration level.
Lane level look from our crew. You saw it hooking right into the pocket. 10 pin for Norm.
I told you you'd see Norm hooking the whole lane today, and he is. Because of that entry angle, though, down the lane, it's a lot sharper coming into the pocket, and you run the risk of leaving the ring 10.
Very interesting to see Norm with such a big hook, Randy. We haven't seen that a lot. Most of his matches on TV.
Well, you haven't seen him do that a lot, like over the last 3 or 4 years. But
yeah.
You know what? He's been working on it. He said his hook game is getting better and better each week.
218.30 average, 12-4 match play record. Remember, brand new format this year. 14 games of qualifying. The round of 64 now to get to the round of 32. Then it's best out of 7 match play. From that point on, sweep of Robert Smith. And our Masters winner, Danny Wiseman, down in 7 games.
Those 14 games are not easy, believe me. I had to ice the next day, so I haven't done that in a while.
Exactly. Learn about that, Kenny, don't you? Late help ball down for Norm Duke.
Tom, I bowled the pre-tournament qualifier. That was 9 games, and then another 14. I was 23 into it by the time I was finished. You see Norm trying to get this ball to turn up just a little bit harder on that left lane. Carries a nice wally hit. But yeah, I'll tell you what, 23 games in 2 days. I don't care how old you are. That's a bunch of games. A lot of bowling.
Man, you got some stretching going on. There's a lot to it.
Have to really hurry. Late help on a ball looked a little bit light. And speaking of baseball here, and home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and a Bob not far from us where they play.
I think Randy would give him a run for his money, though, from what I heard.
You guys are about scratch golfers. Now, come on, I know that. You probably could.
No. I'd give him a run for his money if he gave me 5 aside, I think. I'd need 10 shots from him. Parker Bohn taking serious advantage of that trip 2-pin. Instead of going double spare strike, he's got 4 in a row.
All right, Leslie is here as well with their 2 young sons. They travel in the motorhome from tour stop to tour stop. Justin's 20 months old, Brandon 5 months old. Parker also has 2 sons who live in Nashville, Tennessee. Parker, the 4th, and Evan, 15 and 12 years old. They're watching today. That was light. And a split. 1-2-10.
And it's just a bad shot off his hand. Looks fast, and a lot of times when you're swinging the ball and it looks fast, it's because you just missed it at the bottom. Since you don't have as much power in the ball actually starts to hydroplane and goes faster down the lane. Get the ball over into here, slide the 2 into the 10.
Can he convert? Didn't like it as soon as he released it. You could hear that nope from Norm Duke. So Tom Candiotti was a commissioner's exemption pick this week from Fred Fryer, our PBA commissioner. And there's Tom on the bottom. 64th place finish, but as we saw, Randy did very well this week too. Congrats to Randy. Good experience for you?
It was a blast.
Yeah.
Of course, when you don't have your expectations of finishing anything higher than that. I had an absolute blast just watching the way these guys throw and how accurate they really are. It was amazing.
Well, I know the PBA bowlers really appreciate hosting those guys overnight at the great steak dinner you cooked for Mika. Thanks for joining us, Candy. Great to see you again.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Former big league pitcher Tom Candiotti here in Mesa, Arizona. We have more coming up. Welcome back, everyone, to the Valley of the Sun. We're happy to report it's finally sunny after rain here most of the week in the greater Phoenix area. Sometimes in bowling, speed kills. Parker Bohn, a perfect example. Randy explains in this week's Dexter approach.
It sure does kill Dave Ryan, and what Parker Bohn had to do was he had to find a way to get softer with his speed. So what did he do? He moved up on the approach about 8 inches. Second, got his feet to angle this way at the start to square his hips up. Now watch this. Even though it's in slow-mo, you can see a nice softer delivery for Parker Bohn III. The reason why he had to get his ball to read the middle of the lane better. Well, he's found the secret. Now all he needs is a little bit of confidence.
Told us last night that he first got that idea and the adjustment going a month before the fall swing. Our season started. The rev rate is adjusted, much softer, as you said, in the Dexter approach with his hand. He is adjusting as career advances. Yeah! And another strike, 5 in a row. 40-pin lead for Parker Bohn, the third after the tough start.
Watch it, 3/4 of the way down the lane, and it starts to go right. That's what I mean about by reading the lane, creating friction. His old style, Parker Bohn likes to be really firm. His ball speed being much higher, his ball would blow right through that spot. And then once he made an adjustment off of it or tried to go a little bit straighter, it would break loose down the lane and go high.
I give a lot of credit to Parker Bohn III, Hall of Famer. He's won all these tour titles, but he still takes the input and advice from bowlers like you out there on tour. He's still coachable. To make adjustments he's got to make, 5-pin up.
See, and, you know, over the years, when Parker Bohn was dominating out here, you wouldn't see him throw a shot like this on television. He is still in transition. He told us last night he's only about 80-85% with his new way. But I agree with you. It takes an awful lot for him to overhaul his game like this. But you know what, Dave? It was either that or retire.
Yeah. 22 events without a TV show. Last time, Philadelphia, 2003. You like that better, as you heard very clearly. To get here, Jason Couch went down in 6. Jason Hurd, who has won this year, his first tour title, Wichita, went down in 6 games in the round of 8. And Parker told us last night, likes the new format, the 2 7-game blocks. In the round of 64, the fans can really absorb so much, take in all their favorite bowlers at one time. Back to Norm Duke.
Much better.
Perfect shot.
You know, the other thing that Parker said about the new format that was very interesting was that even if you're bowling bad, you can use the 14 games for practice on a tough PBA pattern.
Speaking of tough, Norm Duke has overcome some unbelievable injury problems. Missed almost half the season last year with a quad strain and then a pinched nerve in his neck. Just after the Masters in Milwaukee, had some injections between the C3, C7 vertebrae. As he gets help, 5-pin trips, anything to ease the pain. He said last year, Randy, in making the 3 shows, he looks back at that perhaps being his best performance because he overcame so much pain.
I agree, and I watched him week in and week out. Norm and I live in the same city back home in Florida. I knew what he was going through, how much pain he was in, and the struggles it was. He couldn't even practice, let alone bowl competitively on tour.
Shot. Come on.
Wow.
Parker liked that ball right off the release, no doubt about it. Special thanks, Martha Furness, Geico Assistant Vice President. Glad to have them with us. And the Geico Gecko. On the commercials, it seems so much smaller.
He's tiny, but tonight there's a 6-footer in the crowd. He's huge.
Crocodile Randy comes out unannounced.
Yep. And it looked like he was losing this lane. He went high. Well, he threw a marginal shot and went Brooklyn at the 5-pin. And then when he shot the 5-pin, it was still high, and he liked it. This shot he liked, and it went high. Situation is simple. He needs to convert. And with a conversion here, Parker Bohn can strike out to shoot 236. Norm Duke can strike out 9th and 10th, 237.
Parker told us last night his confidence level, as you mentioned, 80-90% range to where he wants it to be with his revamped style. And now Norm Duke has overcome incredible injury adversity. Actually had a heart rate shutdown in one of his treatments where he needed to be revived by his doctors. He was getting the injections with some adrenaline. Passed out. Pretty scary moment, he said. Look out. Oh! 8-pin.
Let me just tell you, that's probably the worst break that could ever happen to a professional bowler. And I know it firsthand. This leave right here, Norm Duke's going to leave the Stone 8 it just takes the wind right out of you. Like somebody cutting you off at the knees. Threw it absolutely perfect. He knew what he had to do. He knew if he struck out, there was no way he could lose. Now, he needs help from Parker Bohn to win. His best right now, 2:16. Parker Bohn the third, going at a 2:26 pace as Norm Duke is retaping.
That was a great shot. Give me two more. Come on.
With the tour back in full swing, PBA.com remains your best source to purchase tickets for all PBA events, and beginning Tuesday, for one of the tour's most prestigious events, the Denny's World Championship, going on sale, PBA.com. Also at the Eastern Michigan University box office, Ypsilanti, Michigan. Log on today. Perfect shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, that takes a lot of maple moxie to step up and make a shot this good after you just got kicked right in the stomach.
You fight to the finish.
You heard him say it, Dave. Fight to the finish.
Rack. Never mind.
Expect nothing different from Norm Duke. That's why he is a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. That's why he's won 21 titles.
Never gives up. 10-pin.
I think Norm says it best here, where he leaves this ring in 10 after going strike solid 8, and he says, "What do you want from me?"
He battled. And now Parker Bohn III, who has gone 50 events of his great career without a win, has several times had to revamp his style to try to get back to this point. Now just needs a minimal count by his standards. Just 6. He'll take 10 en route to the final. He and Mika will go head-to-head for the championship. Now the PBA Geico Open, Mesa, Arizona.
Right now, Parker wishes he had one more shot on the left lane.
I know it's early, but I'll make sure I got another Christmas card for you.
Wow. That's a nice thing to say, especially after his opponent just went solid 8, ring in 10 to lose.
Great finish, Parker Bohn III.
Man, great game.
Great game, man.
He's to the final to face Major Mika. It's all coming up. Mika Koivuniemi takes on Parker Bohn III in the final coming up. They've got 3 Player of the Year awards between them. In this week's Miller Six-Pack.
What is the one weird or exotic animal you would love to own as a pet?
Oh, a tiger, without a doubt.
Really?
Their dominance through the jungle and Africa, just their proudness. I just love the way they act.
As a child, what was your favorite toy?
I'm going to have to say that it would have been my ball glove. I loved playing baseball as a kid. It was just a passion of mine, and it was every chance I got, it was to go play baseball somewhere down the street, whether it be a pickup game on a little 180-foot T-ball field, or if it was just playing catch in the backyard, or playing a little tape ball game. But just something to do with baseball. It had to be my ball glove.
What is the dumbest thing you've ever done?
I tried to rollerblade down a very steep hill one time, and it was then that I realized that I'm not very good unless my feet are touching the ground.
What is the best time of day for you?
I'm a night owl. Howl at the moon.
Describe your first crush.
Alyssa Milano, who's the boss? I'm 12 years old, hottest woman in TV's my age. It's got to be Alyssa Milano.
What is your all-time favorite line from a movie?
Bull Durham, Kevin Costner going through the speech of what he believes in. He believes in the bleep, the small of a woman's back, high fiber, good scotch that the novels of Susan Sontag are self-indulgent, overrated crap. I believe Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. I believe there ought to be a constitutional amendment outlawing AstroTurf and the designated hitter. I believe in the sweet spot, softcore pornography, open your presents Christmas morning rather than Christmas Eve, and I believe in long, slow, deep, soft, wet kisses that last 3 days. Good night.
Is that ever impressive from Mike Machuga? On the road, El Paso Classic. Those are the spots, folks. You can sign up for Pro-Ams. Be sure to join us there. You can log on to PBA.com to get tickets for those. And the PBA Dallas Open is coming up. Don Carter All-Star Lanes, Dallas West. And the AMF Lanes as well are Pro-Am spots. Much more coming up from Phoenix. Many people don't know about PBA bowler Bob Learn's artistic side. His cousin Mike owns an airbrush and design studio in Phoenix. The Bohn TV finalist got a chance yesterday to see some of his work. He designs custom motorcycles for stars like Kiefer Sutherland and John Elway, and shirts for PBA stalwart Danny Wiseman. Mike's bikes are truly art, but also very functional. The guys got a chance to experience the power of the choppers yesterday, which have a few more revs than a bowling ball, we're sure. Mika Koivuniemi head-to-head with Norm Duke. We talked about that earlier, and with Parker Bohn III is 1-0. That was the 2000 Wichita Open. We make it 2-0 is the question as we lead now right into the Geico Direct Championship recap.
Thanks, Dave. Earlier in match number 1, it was Mika Koivuniemi defeating Mike Machuga by the score of 192-177. A split in the 10th frame by Machuga propelled Mika to the finals. Then in match number 2, it was Parker Bohn III defeating Norm Duke by the score of 236-206. A solid 8 in the 9th frame did in Duke, setting up a great championship match for the PBA Geico Open title. My keys to victory are simple. Mika Koivuniemi, don't overthrow, stay balanced at the foul line. Those two kind of go hand in hand. Parker Bohn III, it's simple. Keep his emotions intact. He hasn't won in a long time, and stay soft.
More than 2 years since Parker Bohn III has won. 50 events, in fact. Battle at Little Creek, Virginia Beach, Virginia. 2002, that's the last time he won it. And some news with a ball change for Parker Bohn.
Yeah, Dave, Parker Bohn III has changed balls, not because he's clairvoyant, but because the thumb insert inside the thumb hole has pushed down into the hole and they can't get it out. He tried using it in practice, but it feels terrible. He is forced to use a different ball.
The Big Finn from near Detroit. Born in Finland. Perfect shot. Which nicely sets up the Baby Ruth Real Deal matchup between these two stars.
Check it out, check it out. That's pretty much the only thing you need to look at. 12 pins a game, higher average. Mika Koivuniemi only shot 192 in the first match, 5 of 11 strikes. Parker Bohn III, well, he shot 236 and struck a whole bunch.
Mika 3 times in the round of 16, but not in the round of 8 until now, as he's got a 10-pin for the USA base shows. This is a big turnaround for Mika, trying to set himself straight. 12 events left, Randy's second half of the year. If he starts making shows the way he did last year, maybe in bunches, wins a couple of times, who knows, another Player of the Year award is possible.
Boy, he's got his work cut out for him. I mean, we saw Walter Ray do it last year where he did nothing in the first half, had a phenomenal second half. It still wasn't enough. But one interesting note right here, Dave Ryan, Mika Koivuniemi, also a ball change for him, much deeper on the lanes with approach and target, using a much more aggressive bowling ball.
Speaking of approach, perhaps PBA bowlers are going to line up in droves to bowl with Doug Kent at his center in Newark, New York, near Rochester, upstate New York. Parker spent some time there. His wife, Leslie, his sister is with Doug Kent's wife, Chrissy.
He's trying to use the ball, Dave, with the bad thumb hole on that right lane. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not he can get this thing off his hand clean.
Let's find out.
Come on, ball.
Talk to it, and the 7-pin up. To finish the thought on Doug Kent's host center. It's a 30-lane center up there in New York State. Peter Hernandez worked out there before the Cambridge Credit Classic last year, made the show. Patrick Allen had worked out there, then made a show at the ABC Masters. Parker Bohn worked out there and made the show here in Mesa. So I think Doug Kent might want to market that.
After the show, you and I are flying there to work out, Dave. I need to make a show.
Why not? We'll closely follow which strike ball Parker uses.
And that was the first time he had missed not striking on that right lane. That's why he continued to use that ball. Look out.
Boar's out high, but late help nearly took out the remaining pins on the deck. And the 6 stays up for Parker Bohn III.
Very, very touchy lane condition, not only with direction, but with ball speed. Ball speed had to be really good, real consistent. As you can see, he will gladly take that break. He had to be accurate, not only at the front part of the lane, but the back part of the lane.
Takes care of the mark. Parker told us last night what an incredible honor it would be to get to 30 wins. And so few people have done it. He is on the verge, thanks to Tim Brendan, GM of Brunswick Zone Mesa. What a great center this has been. What a jam-packed house for he and his staff to see so many people. In droves, they've come out. Big arm swing, the loft of Mika. That's high. Through the nose. 3, 4, 6, 7.
Get the ball over into this area here. Throw the 3 over into the 4-7. The ball will take out the 6.
With a spare ball. This is a difficult shot.
Wow!
Got them all! Mika Koivuniemi. A trick shot of his own. He's got to save that for the Miller High Life Skills Challenge.
Yeah, and that's a crucial time in this match. He didn't want an open frame and fall further behind. By converting this, he only trails by 3 with both players working on a spare.
You'll have to tell a member of the Finnish news agency who calls him after every match to track Mika's progress on the internet and newspapers back home in Finland about that great spare. And help with a 5-pin. The paralyzer goes down on that shot from Mika Koivuniemi. More of our final coming up from Mesa. You know, we talked about Parker Bohn III getting that insert worked on the bowling ball. He wants to keep control on that right lane. Randy, what's going on over there?
Well, the thumb insert has moved down too low into the hole. What they're trying to do right now is pull it back up and put some glue in there to get that grip to stay put. Otherwise, you can't use it.
Put a little bit there.
Let's talk our Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll, Randy.
It's that guy, Mika Koivuniemi, and watch the way he rolls the 3, 4, 6, 7. Go! Brilliant!
This week's Uniroyal Tire Rock and Roll. 3-pin lead, Parker Bohn III. He's got the ball. It was just being worked on a moment ago. How will that affect things for Parker?
My roommate, Justin Romick, threw a shot this week where his thumb insert actually came out of the bowling ball when he was shooting a spare and almost put him in traction for the week.
That sounds dangerous.
It is.
Works on a spare, 4th frame, Parker Bohn. Things look just fine.
Wow. This is magnificent. All that fiddling with that thumb hole, and he could still get it off his hand that good. Magnificent.
I'd imagine a lot of the confidence level he spoke of last night with us, Randy. He looks for that first title since March 17th, 2002. Got by Patrick Healy Jr. in the finals in Virginia. Last championship for him. There's an 8-pin. And his confidence, I imagine, will be connected to that ball repair, to know that he can overcome just about anything. This is a guy who's 15 straight years, been in multiple TV shows, trying to make that happen again. Legendary career, 29 career wins. Knocks down the 8. What did Mika tell us last year? He was down by 3, working on a strike.
I am left-hander's worst nightmare. You are weak.
10-0 on TV against Southpaws. And who did he beat for his 300 game?
Our old pal Jason Couch.
Jason Couch, their left-hander in Connecticut last year. Another big strike for the lofting Mika Koivuniemi. PBA's top bowlers will hit the lanes next Sunday. ESPN's coverage of the PBA Tour rolls on the finals of the El Paso Classic. PBA Bowling on ESPN Sunday at 1 Eastern. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Be sure to log on to PBA.com for Pro-Am sites having to do with El Paso and Dallas, our upcoming events in the great state of Texas. Kesta. 4-pin.
Kesta, I'm assuming means hold. Because that ball was left of target, and he caught a huge break there. This could have been 5. Cuts right through the heart, only leaving the 4-pin. Big break. Easy spare. Conversion, Mika will still lead by 6.
He missed it. Can you believe Mika Koivuniemi whipping on the 4-pin?
Are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
How much room was there between the pin and the ball?
Not much, but you know what? Look at this. Oh my.
I mean, a whisker. Wow, great look from our crew.
Bottom line is he missed it.
A 6-pin lead, and Parker's got a 7-pin.
A lot of blinking going on in Parker's eyes. Usually a sign that there's a lot of thinking going on in that noggin. And he's trying to figure out what ball, from what line, what direction, how fast, so he can knock all 10 down.
Is there a danger in that regard of outthinking yourself?
Yeah, there is. I mean, a lot of times it's a guess. It's an educated guess, but it's still a guess until, you actually throw one. You're kind of going up there saying, well, I think if I stand here, throw here, I think I'll knock all 10 down. But again, an educated guess.
Parker wanted to make sure we gave a shout out to his grandma Gladys, who is recovering from pneumonia. Hospital back home in New Jersey today. But doing better, we're sure, after that shot from her grandson.
Both players were to strike out from this point forward. 238 for Parker Bohn, 233 for Mika Koivuniemi. Another match in this Geico Championship that's going to come down to the 9th and 10th frame.
.48 for Mika, who's just unable to get that pass to the pocket in gear.
Come on, Mika.
That shot was just overthrown, just too fast.
The last spare, incredibly, he missed a 4-pin. Picks that one up nicely.
No noise behind me this time.
Right here. Don't overthrow. That shot was overthrown, and when that happens, ball's not going to recover down the lane. It's going to come in light, just like that shot did right there.
Mika very much into fitness. This morning took about a 40-minute jog on the treadmill. Likes to go about 4 miles. And he thinks about the game plan when that's happening. I highly doubt he thought about missing a 4-pin in that mental preparation.
He prides himself on not missing spares, especially single-pin spares.
Come on,
Didn't like that at all. Right through the nose, way high.
Hated it immediately.
Come on, kestä.
Well, he's in trouble, Dave. I mean, he can't get to the pocket. He's struggling with his physical game right now. Needs a little bit of help from Parker. He still has a 9th and 10th frame, though.
Is it as simple as overthrowing, or is it a bad ball reaction on the backside of the oil pattern? Transition is hurting him.
I think that the move that he's made, going into the center part of the lane or moving deep inside and throwing the hook, is the right move. But he's just not making good shots right now.
Well, Randy, we've seen it before so many times. Great bowlers like Mika struggling on TV. This great bowler will try to take advantage.
Look at
the big
that.
4. Oh, wow. One goes down late.
Take a look at this ball. Is going to go right through the face. And take a look at his wife's face. Parker had Mika on the ropes with a strike there in the 8th frame. He would have been stepping on his throat. Instead, he lets him right back into the match.
Unbelievable. Did get a lucky break as the 7 went down the very end of that first shot. So just 3 were standing. And the 6-10 eliminated by Parker Still. An open frame so late, which can be deadly. And the 8th frame for him, now foundation frame time, number 9. And he's down 5.
Big shot right here.
Wow. Looking for help on the 6, and he didn't get it. The messenger slid across the deck and just missed it. It was spinning.
Boy, with the exception of the first frame, he's been high every ball in this left lane.
I mean, talk about a game of inches, Randy. We had Mika miss that 4-pin by a hair, and then the messenger for Parker spinning right toward the 6, didn't take it out. What a difference that would have made. As he takes out number 6.
Right, now here's the deal. Parker Bohn III can strike out in the 10th frame and shoot 196. Mika Koivuniemi can strike out 9th and 10th and shoot 211.
The emotions that must go through a bowler's mind right now. It seemed like with the open frames earlier and Mika's total lack of confidence in his shot and accuracy had taken him out of it. Now he's back in. How do you take advantage?
Just don't think. Just get up there and just react. Just throw the ball like you know how to throw it. Let it happen.
Topsy-turvy match.
Come on.
All right, that's okay. With a spare here, even though he's already whiffed one 4-pin, I'll bet you 1,000 he doesn't miss this one. This ball's going to go a little pinch high. He's going to leave the 4. Now, with a conversion here, he can still strike out and shoot 200 even and shut out Parker Bohn III.
These two are grinding their way to the finish line here. So uncharacteristic of great bowlers in big moments, but that's what the oil pattern has given us. Number 4 is down. Mika has his mark. So much thought has got to go into these last moments.
Grinding pattern, grinding condition. If it was easy, everybody would have 29 or 30 titles out here on tour. 2 strikes and 7. Mika Koivuniemi will be your champion.
Bidding for his 5th career title here today in Mesa, Arizona.
Wow.
Late help, there's one of them.
Wow. Very fortunate right there. That ball almost didn't even want to hook down the lane. Check it out. See him flipping around the side of the ball to get that thing to turn over down the lane. That was huge.
8-pin went down late. So that's what he needs. A strike in 7 to end Parker Bohn's run at a 30th career title and first in 50 events.
Looks good.
Got one.
Now, he needs 7 to win. My opinion here, he takes his spare ball out and throws it straight and hard at the head pick.
Let's see what he picks. Remember, he missed that 4-pin with a spare ball earlier.
He's not going to do it. He's going to stay with the strike ball.
Strike ball. I wonder if that's creeping through his mind.
Remember, he got 6 in the 3rd frame. Left the 3, 4, 6, 7. He made it, but he still got 6. He needs 7.
He'll take all 10.
Go Geico.
And Mika Koivuniemi is a champion again. Talk about gritty run to a championship.
That was his fill shot. It was pretty firm and pretty direct down the middle of the lane. Stepped up big time, brilliantly in the 10th frame.
Mika had come very close to getting to TV shows this season. A couple of round of 16 appearances. But on the USA Tour side, never to the round of 8 until this week. Then he goes all the way to a victory. His 5th career PBA championship. Major Mika is back on the mat. A 4-pin victory over Parker Bohn III. For our finalists, first Parker Bohn III. What exactly did happen with your thumb insert?
It slipped in a little bit. I had to pull it back up and put a little bit of super glue in there to hold on to it, and the tape got messed up. I tried to get a little tape and fix it. Unfortunately, knocking over a water bottle in the middle of Mika's approach, and, well, lo and behold, that's all I kept thinking about. But great champion like he is, he came back and did what he needed to do in the 10th, and congratulations, Mika.
Good run for you, Parker. Mika, how does it feel to be back in the winner's circle? It's been a while.
It was weird show. I didn't have too good look in either games, but I just grinded, and when I missed that 4-pin, I heard something happens, and I didn't take it back. I was supposed to take it back to shot like that, but I know Parker didn't do it in purpose. So.
But no matter how you get a victory, even having to grind it out, it feels good.
It feels great.
Congratulations. Mika Koivuniemi has his 5th career PBA Tour title, and it happens here today in Mesa, Arizona. He takes the victory. It was close, grinding it out over Parker Bohn III. Be sure to join us again next Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN El Paso Classic from Oasis Lanes in El Paso, Texas. It's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Now for the entire crew, my partner Randy Peterson, it's Dave Ryan saying so long. Tilt Review Special is next here on ESPN. Congrats goes to Mika Koivuniemi.